Hello everyone, I'm Robert Wenzel. Welcome to the 8th edition of Sunday Morning with Robert Wenzel. Today's topic is two hurricanes and the current state of economic understanding. We just had a horrific hurricane here in the United States that went through part of Texas, Hurricane Harvey, caused multi-billion dollars worth of damages. As I'm recording this, there's a hurricane that's about to shoot up the western part of Florida, and it's sure to create billions of dollars worth of damage there. But the reason for this recording is what the New York Federal Reserve president said about these two hurricanes. He went on national television earlier this week on CNBC and said that the damage done by these hurricanes would boost the economy. His specific quotes. He said on CNBC, the longer run effect of disaster, unfortunately, is that it lifts economic activity because you have to rebuild everything that has been damaged. He then added, it will end up boosting the economy. Now, this is a remarkable statement from an economist that is at the Federal Reserve. Let's take a look at his background. He's got a PhD in economics from the University of California, Berkeley, and he was chief economist at Goldman Sachs for 10 years. Yet he's making statements like this that the hurricane damage is going to boost the economy. Let's take a look and see what really happens. Here's my famous circle of production, or we can call it a pie of production, whatever you want to call it. Let's say this is the production, the wealth that is in Texas and Florida. Okay, so we get houses, we get corporate buildings, we've got cars, all sorts of things throughout the two states. And we've got people over here working, pumping things in to further boost the size of the wealth in these two states. Now what happens is we've got a hurricane. We've got two hurricanes. It takes out some of the production. They do billions of damage. Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma. Now what Dudley contends is this is good because there's going to be new activity. There's going to be economic activity. But what he means by this is that there needs to be houses rebuilt, there will have to be cars made that were destroyed by flooding and so on. So you've got all these people that before the hurricane, you had more wealth because these houses were still here and autos and things. And you had people pumping more into the economy, so it was expanding the wealth of the area. Some of these people are now going to have to shift their efforts to rebuilding what was destroyed by the hurricane. So this is not greater activity, it's a shift in activity. It's rebuilding versus expanding the economy, which would have happened if these hurricanes didn't damage it. Henry Hazlitt, in a famous book in the 1940s called Economics in One Lesson, talked about this. He talked about it in terms of a baker whose window was broken by a hoodlum, and people were saying, well, this is good for the economy because the baker would now have to buy a new window, and it's good for the window maker. But Hazlitt said, hold on. You're only looking at part of the picture here. If the window wasn't broken, the baker would have had the window, and he could have spent the money on something else, buying a suit or something else. So you're just repairing and fixing versus expanding. That an economist of the so-called stature of William Dudley, who's the president of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, who was an economist for 10 years at Goldman Sachs, doesn't get this basic idea that he thinks this damage is actually a boost to the economy is remarkable. It shows you just how horrific the basic understanding of basic economic concepts is just not here in America at this time. There's just a lot of bad economic understanding, and it's going to take a major effort to turn this around. And William Dudley, the president of the New York Federal Reserve, just proved that. And I'm not going into the horrific theories the Federal Reserve has about money creation and inflation and the business cycle and all that. That's a little more complex. And it takes more understanding to explain why their theories are wrong. But this is really basic stuff. For a guy like Dudley not to get this stuff is just a bad sign of what's going on. And he wasn't challenged on CNBC when he said this. So just bad stuff. Anyways, thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to this channel so you get a notice every time there's a new video up. They mostly will come out on Sundays, but I may put out an emergency video from time to time if something interesting is going on. If you like this particular video, please hit the like button. Tweet it out, blog it out so people become aware of what's going on here. If you would like to reach me, the best way to reach me is at rw@epjmail.com. I have got great ideas from you guys from previous emails as to what topics you like, so I'm going to be covering some of those in the future episodes of Sunday Morning with Robert Wenzel. If you have questions about any of these videos, shoot me emails. The YouTube channel, the quickest way to find it is go to sunday.cloud, put that in the address browser, and that'll get you here. My main website is economicpolicyjournal.com, where I blog every day, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, all day long, all night long. I hate sleep. That's economicpolicyjournal.com. The shortcut way is to go to epj.cloud, put that in your address website browser. cafepress.com/epj. You can get the best in mugs, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies. It's all there. cafepress.com/epj. Thanks for listening. I'll be back next week.